Hello and welcome to my project, Why Cowship Matters, which is situated right here on Worthy Farm on the site of Glastonbury Festival. And in essence, the project aims to achieve two things: to reduce natural resource deprivation and provide a pathway for farmers to manage their waste more effectively. Simply put, the planet's raw materials are finite and they're running out, and we need to find new ways to source our building materials. The farming industry, in light of coronavirus and Brexit, is reaching a tipping point, and innovative new ways of thinking are completely essential. And my project aims to provide a pathway for the future of farming moving forward, utilising the global experimental platform that Glastonbury Festival provides.
Glastonbury or Glastonbury?
Glastonbury.
Now, this great festival has gone plastic free.
It seems, I think, to many people slightly incongruous to site a festival here in the heart of very quiet, peaceful countryside.
It's a super place for it. It's absolutely ideal. It's a kind of a euphoria down here. You know, it's away from the awful realities of life.
So I'm going to explain my proposal through a fictional narrative of me showing someone around the building during Glastonbury Festival. Hey, you having a good Glastonbury?
Yeah, it's absolutely wicked. It's my first time here. There's so much to see.
Do you want to come have a look at the Centre for Alternative Farming, which is just over there by the pyramid stage?
Sure, sounds cool. What is it?
It's an open source research and education facility that aims to provide an alternative pathway for the future of farming. And you could think of it as the stomach of Glastonbury Festival that's transforming all of the local agricultural waste into sustainable energy and construction materials.
So how come it's here at Glastonbury?
Well, Glastonbury has this unique way of bringing people together and showcasing an ecosystem of open-minded cultural and environmental thinking. And I grew up just around the corner from the festival within a landscape that's dominated by farming. And the ambition of the project is to utilise the global platform of Glastonbury to showcase a pioneering example of what farming could be in the future. You could think of it as social energy as well as renewable energy.
Is this the only farm on the site of Glastonbury?
Well, no, there's actually 3 farms that sit inside the boundary of the festival. All of them are dairy farms. And after going to talk to these farmers, it struck me that waste management seems to be the big challenge that they face within the industry. Cow manure is perhaps the biggest problem for them, simply because most farmers do not have the facilities to store the volume of manure that's being produced. Here's a short video to help explain why. This is where they store all of the manure when they're not allowed to fertilise the fields during the winter. And we're going to have a little walk up the ladder and have a look what's over the other side. This particular tank contains over 3 million litres of cow slurry. Waste or resource?
Wow, a lot of poo. So why Worthy Farm?
Worthy Farm's in this unique financial and creative position as it's owned by the Evis family, who actually organised the festival, and they're leading the conversation around sustainable agriculture. And in 2016 they installed an anaerobic digester.
An anaerobic digester, what does that do?
So anaerobic digestion is the process of converting organic waste into biogas and then electricity, and they actually use that to power the farm here and hopefully one day to power the pyramid stage. The only catch is that after the biogas has been extracted, you're left with a secondary waste byproduct called digestate, and this leaves farmers in the same position: too much digestate, not enough storage.
So what are you planning to do with the digestate?
So taking inspiration from a material called murder cotta, I'm proposing to build upon the existing system here at Worthy Farm by taking the digestate and transforming it into a building material that I'm calling the ship brick.
Can you tell me a bit more about how they're actually made?
Yep, so the first step is to actually separate the solid and liquid digestate when it comes out of the digester. Then I'm taking this solid content and mixing it with local clay and water. And then depending on the ratio of digestate to clay, the bricks are either fired within a kiln that's actually powered by the biogas generated during the digestion process, or they're just left in the sun to air dry.
So did you use the bricks to build the centre?
Exactly, yeah. So you could think of the whole project as this process that starts with the raw material of cow manure, which is then transformed into these bricks, and then the bricks themselves are actually used to build the structure.
It does feel really nice that we're actually still in a farm right now, even though the festival is going on right over there.
Yeah, well, part of the challenge of the whole project has been trying to design within a site that has a contrast between fast and slow and rural and urban. And the ambition really is that the building itself remains very much part of the rural context of the farm, but then all the materials and social energy that are coming out of the facility become integrated into the festival.
So how was the structure built?
So the outer skin consists of 3 self-supporting brick arches that are built from the ship bricks, and then inside the building there's a timber frame structure that sits independent to the outer skin, and it's designed to be a lightweight modular system so it could be reconfigured to meet future requirements of the building.
Why did you choose arches?
So the whole design is essentially inspired by the surrounding local agricultural buildings, in particular the Dutch barn. And Dutch barns are typically built with a steel frame with corrugated metal on the outside and have quite high embodied carbon. And I wanted to suggest an alternative vision and typology for a Dutch barn that's built entirely from agricultural waste.
So what's actually going on inside the building?
There are 2 main functions to the building. The first is a ship brick manufacturing workshop, and the second is a research and education facility. Let's go take a look inside. So right now we're standing in the ship brick workshop, which is a functioning brick manufacturing business that produces a range of bricks that are made from excess digestate right here on the farm.
What happens to all these bricks?
So they're stored in a warehouse next door, and then they're distributed and used within local construction projects, and also used right here within the festival context. The ambition is that the bricks provide a handmade, sustainable alternative to conventional bricks. Here are what some of the finished bricks actually look like. The ones higher in clay content were fired and then used to build a brick arch, and the 100% ship bricks were sun-dried and used as internal infill in between the timber frame. The workshop takes a lot of inspiration from a place called H.G. Matthews in Cheshire, a brick workshop that offers a range of sustainable building materials.
So what's going on next door?
So next door is the research and education workshop. Let's go take a look. So this area of the facility was inspired by CAT in Wales and their notion of thinking globally but acting locally. And the overarching function of the whole facility is to provide this research and educational platform for farming, and open source Creative Commons in the spirit of Glastonbury Festival.
So what specific courses do you offer?
So we offer a range of courses that are related to sustainable farming and organic waste materials. For example, building with maize, how to build a ship brick, or learn about regenerative farming.
Can you tell me a bit more about the maize course?
Sure, so on that course you'd learn how to create biodegradable building materials made from maize husk, which is a waste byproduct of the crop. So maize, also known as corn, is a crop that's grown across the world to feed animals, primarily cows, and it's in rapid demand and is projected to be the largest globally grown crop by 2025.
How would you make this into a building material?
So the husk has extremely strong and waterproof natural fibres, and by boiling these down you can extract these fibres and use them to make biodegradable materials. For example, the husk can be used to create waterproof cladding, or by mixing the fibres with potato starch you could create a series of husk-based fabrics. And taking this a step further, you can also make biodegradable tents entirely made from maize husk, and our ambition is that one day everyone will be camping at Glastonbury Festival in these tents.
What do you imagine happening in the future with this centre?
So taking inspiration from the Ship Museum in Italy, we're planning to build a public museum space next door to the educational studio, and it will exhibit all of the material research that people have created within the facility and invite the public in to understand more about the world of farming. And we're planning to actually involve the students within the actual build itself, which will consist of a bottle kiln structure built from the ship bricks and a lean-to canopy built from the maize husk.
So with the rise in alternative dairy products, what will you do if cows rapidly decline?
It's actually a really good question, and the whole facility is designed to be dynamic and evolve to meet the future landscape of farming. For example, we're looking into the possibility of using the vast quantity of human waste and food waste that's produced during the festival as a resource. In essence, the most important thing about the facility is that it gives the future of farming a platform to discover and discuss and share ideas.
Sounds wicked. Well, thanks so much for showing me around. Sign me up.
Thanks for listening. I hope that gave you an insight into my proposal. And looking forward, I'd really like to present this work to some local farmers in Emily Evis. And I'd also like to continue developing the ship brick with the possibility of using it in a live build structure that I'm undergoing in October back home in Glastonbury.